I'm not like other teenagers. I'm autistic. When I'm swimming, I feel normal.
The doctors told us that Michael would never talk, he would never be able to change his own pants, that he would never be self-sufficient. Just accept your son's autistic and move on from there. That's pretty much all we can do. You don't give up. You can't give up on your child.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, how are you tonight? What did you think of the film, the documentary? Amazing, amazing. I had a chance to view it ahead of time. Good afternoon, my name is Brian DiNovellis, and I will be moderating a Q&A with the film's director and producer, Lara Stolman. I'd like to bring her out now. A round of applause for Lara. Lara, how are you? So she is the one responsible for doing this documentary, and she lives here in New Jersey. She resides here. She's worked in television for years with NBC News, and this is her first documentary that she's done, and what an amazing job that she's done. And Lara, can you please tell the audience here what your inspiration was for showcasing the Hammerheads? Why did you choose them?
I was just really inspired by Mike, Maria, and Mikey, sitting right here actually, and I met them actually at the Raritan Bay Area YMCA in the fall of 2013, and they were just there working with Mikey actually, training with him. As they do, they spend so much time, they dedicate themselves to working with him and working with other kids. And Mikey told me that first day, he said, I know that I'm autistic and I'm not like other kids. And I saw him swim, and I just, had no idea that he struggled at all outside of the water. And I just thought that was just so fascinating, that he could be such a skillful, accomplished swimmer and yet, have struggles outside of the water. And as I got to know Mike and Maria and heard about what their plans were for starting their own team, I just thought, this is a story that needs to be heard.
And you told it so well. I see some of the swimmers here. I'd like to acknowledge some of them and have them come up. I see Michael here with Mike and Maria, his parents. And I think I see Kelvin over here. And do I see Hayden right here in the plaid? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And one of the other stars of the relay team is not here as well. That would be Robert. So maybe I can ask a few questions to the swimmers. All right, so you guys were the stars. And let's acknowledge some of the other swimmers who are part of the Hammerhead team here as well. Maybe you'd like to to stand up.
They're all up top.
Jade,
all our new team
any of the other Hammerheads who are here, who were seen in the film. Congratulations. And I think at the end we saw that Mike and Maria, we saw that this year there were a total of 85 gold medals, 85 medals won by the team. Is that right?
85, correct.
Gold or just medals in overall?
Overall medals.
So let me get this correct. I know that this was the first year the team was in existence. And is this your first venture into coaching?
No, I've been coaching this will be going on the 7th year now.
Okay.
This is, the film's been continuing for the past, 3 years, 4 years they've been putting this together.
We started filming in the fall of 2013, right as the team was coming together, right. And 2014 was the first season of the Jersey Hammerheads.
Correct.
The twists and turns that not only these swimmers face in the water, but in life. How did that add to this documentary?
Well, that's really the main reason why these boys are the ones that we focused on in the film. All of the kids on the team were lovable and funny and interesting and smart, and they each had their own unique gifts. And one of the tough questions was who do we focus on? We can't make a film about 17 kids. It wouldn't be interesting for the audience. And these kids, they're young men. They're not kids. They're going through what we say are the transition years, and they're becoming adults. And it's really an important turning point, especially on if you have a diagnosis on the autism spectrum, because they're about to lose important support from school districts, and there are a lot of questions for their parents. So it's, very a critical time. And, I thought that it was important to explore that from a story standpoint.
No question. I want to ask Kelvin, Hayden, and Michael, maybe you guys can get the mic over here. What was it like seeing yourselves on the big screen?
It was good. I do some kind of like the civil engineering about the roadway, like I-95 will go through Trenton and Mooresville. It goes across the Delaware River. It's one of my ideas for the turnpike process around the extension.
Fantastic, Kelvin. Yeah, Hayden, it's on. So what was it like watching yourself on the big screen?
Oh, they're doing a very awesome job. She did work on the film. She's doing a very awesome job. She was a very good producer and director.
Yeah.
And then, what's her name? Lara. You're doing a very awesome job working on the film, and you already did producing and directing. It was a good film. I just love it.
Oh, that's wonderful, Hayden. Thank you. And Michael? Oh, it's on.
All right.
It's on, buddy.
It's on, Michael. What was it like for you to see yourself on the big screen?
It was quite amazing, and it's like when I see a video, I like to see how my arms are swimming in the water and how my feet are kicking up, and how I actually sound, like how my voice sounds like on the screen.
Sounds a lot different, right?
Yes.
Yes. Lara, those underwater scenes, what type of a camera did you use? What kind of a camera did you use to film this?
Well, I'd love to tell you that I used a $50,000 computer, camera, operated camera. But no, the truth was that a lot of those underwater scenes were shot by myself with GoPros. My amazing DP, Layla Kilborn, I'm sorry she's not here, she did actually put a wetsuit on, and she did encase her expensive camera in waterproof casing and swam, which was incredible, and filmed while she swam. But a lot of what you saw, I did myself with GoPros. Looks pretty good, right?
Absolutely. And those can be a $300-400 cameras, as easy as that. So an inexpensive way for young filmmakers out there to really capture great scenes and cinematic scenes. You could see that professionals use it too. So Mike and Maria, this is to you. As parents, as coaches, what were the biggest obstacles you faced along the way in trying to get this team motivated? You saw scenes there where it was tough to just get them in the water to do one lap. Yet alone 10 laps. I mean, you have to train these athletes to be not only capable to swim on their own, but then to swim competitively against the other great Special Olympic athletes that are out there all across New Jersey and the country.
I guess they pretty much just started listening to each other. What you saw on film was these athletes, young men, they would swim an hour and a half, 2 hours a night. And it was intense. I mean, sometimes I got a little crazy on them. The parents are looking, what's this guy doing, blah, blah, blah. But if they just put their faith in me, just let me have your child for 2 hours. Let's see what can happen. Because most of our athletes, most of autistic kids that I've been around, mom and dad like to coddle them, just hold them all the time, afraid of what little Johnny, little Susie might do. Let them be themselves. They all have a gift. believe me, every autistic kid, special needs child, they have a gift. It's up to you as a parent to believe in that child and let it come out. And I think here it showed that these guys can do it. They really can. And I like to say special thanks to the team that's here today. Brent Spencer, the zoo director from Turtleback Zoo, is here. Thank you so much for giving Michael the opportunity. Swimming gave my son, and I think it's going to give all these other young men here, it gives them a chance in life. If it shows that they can learn strokes back and forth, then it shows they can do other things. They just need that opportunity. Give them just that much of a chance, and they can succeed in life. And that's what we plan on continue doing.
And it was a roller coaster. I mean,
it was up and down.
The dramatic scenes there in Neptune at the aquatic
when
center.
Robbie didn't show
you're
up,
waiting for Robert, and
when
then
Robbie didn't show up, and we got the participation medal.
Right.
The athletes, they were all excited. And then where's Robbie at? And everybody was losing focus, and it happens. But you know what? They came back in the summer games, and they turned it loose. They did their thing.
Right. I mean, it's a classic example. Maria, I'd like to hear from you too, because you're the manager and you're trying to explain to them why they didn't. Pardon me?
She's the boss.
The boss, of course. Why they didn't get gold? Why they got participation trophies? And it's that classic case of you get knocked down and you have to pick yourself up and get right back at it.
Exactly, and that's what I wanted to tell them. I knew they were bummed out. They knew they didn't get that gold. They knew they won the race, but then when they got that medal, they're like, "What is this?" Oh yeah, okay. I didn't know what was happening because I really thought they won. So I was like the mama bear. I'm like, oh no, I got to find out what happened. But then when I understood, I said, okay, they got disqualified. I had to explain to them. I needed them to understand. This is what happened. You have to stay focused. You guys, yeah, you won it, but guess what? You made that one mistake. That one mistake, you got your medal taken away from you. So I wanted them all to understand what happened, and they did. And they got right back on it, and they did well. But one thing with the parents, thank you for bringing your kids to practice. I know it gets hard, but if it wasn't for these guys, we wouldn't have a team, so we thank you, and my coaches who are out here, thank you for helping us out. Without your help, we couldn't do it as well. So I just wanted to make sure I got that out. Thank you.
Wonderful. So I'm curious, that was 2014.
Yeah.
Now we're at the end of 2016. Last we heard, Michael was at Middlesex and at the Turtleback Zoo. What are the three of you doing right now? Are you in school?
Right now,
Yes, it's
You're
on.
on, buddy. You're on.
right now, I'm in Middlesex County, almost done with it, and next time I'm swimming at the Scarlet Ruckers, and hopefully I'll be done probably next year in June, and I'm preparing for the summer games to see if I get to nationals, and if I don't, then guess I'll stick to bowling.
Okay. You're a bowler too.
Yeah, and also
It's a good fallback plan.
yeah, and also I'm hoping to see if I can work at the zoo the Miami Zoo in Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. Excellent. Well, you certainly have a good resume on your hands, Michael, so good luck.
Thank you.
And Hayden, can you give us an update on what you're doing now?
This year?
Yes. Are you working? Are you going to school?
Oh yeah, this is my semi-final year at Rumson Fairhaven Regional High School, and I've already worked another new place. It's called Riverview Medical Center at Bay, New Jersey.
Outstanding.
Yep. So I've already worked in food nutrition and some materials management. 2 works in a row.
Congratulations.
Yep.
That's one. It's got to be good.
I am a great hard worker. At Riverview Medical Center, I did an awesome job today. What? Yes.
You're coaching?
Yes, I'm coach. But then I'm coaching with the RV swim team. Like I already did last year with my RV swimming coach, Mr. Wilson, Coach Megan Jones, and Coach Strouch.
Congratulations.
I teach those boys and girls with the RV swim team.
And now you're coaching. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a greatest coach in the whole. I'm a greatest coach in the whole wide
I bet
world.
you are. Those kids are very lucky to have you as their coach.
Yeah.
Very lucky. So let's open it up to anyone in the audience who has a question for anyone up here, including Laura, the young gentleman, Mike, or Maria. There's a gentleman that has a question.
Yeah, I was wondering, how long did it take you to put the film together from start to finish, and what was your budget overall?
Great question.
So I started developing the film in the fall of 2013, and we filmed pretty steadily from the first day of practice. You saw January 2014 to June 2014, and then we started to write grants and try to raise money, and I wasn't actually actively working on the film. We filmed a little bit the following year in 2015, and that's when we started editing, and it took us about 6 months to edit the film. We finished in, I worked on and off because I have 3 children, and I wasn't working full time, actually, to be honest, on this film. And we were also trying to raise money. We finished in just this past summer, 2016. So all told, it was 3 years, but that wasn't working every day. That answers your question. And we are trying to raise money, talking about money. So if anybody's interested in contributing to this film, please come to me. We, can offer producer credits. We're looking to distribute it as widely as possible, and it will ultimately probably be on PBS. But before then, we can do an Oscar run and qualify it for the Oscars and open it for a week in New York, a week in LA. That costs about $25,000. So if anybody wants to contribute, or you know of anybody who would be interested, please, by all means, get in touch with me.
Oh, I like the LAPP SWAT.
So ultimately, Lara, you mentioned it right there. I mean, you want to get this distributed, you want to get it shown, and obviously, make money off this. This is not easy for people who have never made a film or a documentary like this. It's a major undertaking where you're taking a risk with your own money.
Yes, that's true. We are, we're trying to, ultimately distribute it, as I said before, as widely as possible, and it will, probably be on PBS, but not for a while. And between now and then, there are lots of opportunities to see it at film festivals. You can host your own screening. If anybody wants to host a screening for their school or their community, just go to www.swimteamthefilm.com and click on host an event, and you can raise money for your swim team or another organization. And yeah, we did put a lot of our own money into this film, and are hoping we'll make it back. But this was not actually, you don't make films like this to make a lot of money. That's not why we did it. We did it because it's an important story that, we want to share with as many people as possible.
And it's already won some awards, correct?
Yeah, we won Best Sports Documentary at the Hot Springs Documentary Film Festival, and we won Best Feature Documentary at the Picture This Film Festival, which is an international festival in Calgary. And we've been honored by being selected by a number of, very prestigious selective film festivals in the country, and we're continuing to do our festival tour in the new year, and hopefully there'll be more awards. And we've also had incredible reviews, and if you want to check them out, you can go to our website.
Thank you, Laura. I mean, this movie, this documentary really had it all. I laughed, I cried, I cheered, and it really brought out the best emotions in all of us. And in conclusion, this wraps up this portion of the question and answer period. I'd like to give one final round of applause to the stars of the movie, Kelvin and Hayden and Michael and Robert, who could not be here, Michael and Maria for their guidance and their coaching and their leadership along the way, because without them, this story wouldn't be as good as it was. Lara, best of luck in your venture, and thank you for making such a beautiful documentary.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone for coming.